So my name is Christy Cheung. I graduated from Penn State with a psychology degree from May of 2006. So since then, I've been with K4's professional staffing. For myself, I specialize in the placement for finance and accounting professionals in the DC metro area. So my territory is basically Northern Virginia, Washington, DC, Baltimore, Richmond, Virginia area. So again, going back from while I was at Penn State, I was involved with a lot of student activities. In particular, I started off with my sorority, Alpha Kappa Delta Phi. We are an Asian American service sorority. So through that, I held, VP positions, and through that, I also took on a multicultural Greek council delegate position. So through that, then I became the president of the multicultural Greek council. So through all those, leadership experience and positions that I held, I landed on a scholarship from the College of Liberal Arts with Kai Mitchell. Kai Mitchell, she is my current boss. She is the president of the Atlantic region of K4's professional staffing. And just a little bit about how I got into the position. While I was in school, I received this scholarship. I actually stay in touch with my scholarship donor, Kai. Through that scholarship, through my staying in touch with Kai, right after I graduated, I went to visit Kai in the Reston, Virginia office just to say hi. I really wasn't planning on doing an interview at all. Then she set me up to meet with a senior manager there, and then, kind of like an informal interview, and basically I got the position right at the spot. So, basically that's how I've been with them. And I've been with the organization since October of 2006. I started off as a recruiter / talent specialist. Currently I've been, again, with the company for 4.5 years, and currently I'm the talent director. I have 3 staffs reporting to me.
My name's Keith Karako. I graduated a long time ago, February of '76. Had a great time up here at Penn State. Majored 2 years in drinking, and then figured out I had to get a job and started to crack the books. Graduated, had one offer up here in the Pennsylvania area, didn't like the offer, hopped on a plane, flew to Dallas, Texas. Back then, Texas was in the oil boom. It was right after the first oil crisis. It took me 60 days to find my first job. Got my first job, wasn't the greatest job in the world, but what it did was I knew it could give me skills. Grabbed that, lasted about 18 months. Somebody I was working with offered me another job, transferred, learned energy and real estate lending, which was important in Texas. Lasted about 15 months with that job before Citibank contacted me and offered me a job. So I transferred 3 jobs in under 4 years, and I've been stuck in that company ever since. 5 cities, 8 jobs, a lot of international travel, having a great time.
Well, for me, I never had the opportunity to work abroad or even study abroad. However, I grew up in Hong Kong, so, I have the experience of working with, interacting with people from, of course, Chinese background. I love traveling. So, just recently I went to Japan, went to Malaysia, Singapore. So, I think it's important for you to just to see what's out there, learning about other people's culture. With what I do right now, even though, of course, I don't travel to Asia or anything like that, but a lot of people that, are from Asian descent, they will be reaching out to me because they feel the connection, I guess. And of course, because I understand their culture background and I understand what their priorities are. Again, each, I guess, ethnicity, their way of thinking are different, their priorities are different. So, for me is, what's important is just to learn a little bit about their culture to learn what's important for them.
The best thing you can do is really, and Penn State offers a tremendous opportunity, is to learn about cultures. We have what we call the ugly American scenario. Okay, we send people abroad and they expect everything to be like New York City. Okay, it's not. It's not that it's wrong. Our way isn't right and theirs is wrong. It's that we're different. Okay? Theirs is right and ours is right. And you have to learn that. Okay? The thing that I love to do, and I travel, and I'm probably up to 60-some countries now, is learning new cultures and how people act. You have certain environments in New York, let's say you go out to dinner, first thing you do is talk business, get it over with, and then you socialize. Other cultures, you never talk business at dinner. You don't even bring it up. Whatever we do here, more and more of it's international. Okay? Almost, 85% of all companies doing sales of 50 million or more either buy or sell overseas. So no matter almost any business you go to in a career, you're going to be dealing international. Okay? So get the experience. Don't be intimidated by it. Okay? Go in there confident, and you can succeed. If I was graduating today, I'd be raising my hand for any job overseas, no matter where, just for the experience.
When I'm looking at entry-level grad, you and your resume, you guys are pretty much the same to me. You know, I know that you don't have a lot of experience. And I'm not going to judge too much on your resume, but at the same time, you know, of course, whatever you're telling me during an interview, I'm not going to, you know, be super judgmental anyway. But what's important is I need you to be confident. I need you to know coming in to meet with me, you're prepared. You know who I am and what you're here, why you're here. You know, one of the key things is I hate it when somebody come in and I say, oh, what do you know about K-Force? I really don't know. I just went to your website and that's really it. Not acceptable. I need you to tell me, not necessarily like what's the stock option we have and stuff like that, but I need you to tell me that, hey, I'm a staffing firm, we place finance and accounting people. Just simple things like that, that would really much impress me. Or if you know, Facebook, maybe you take a look at our Facebook page and see we won a new contract in Nevada, whatever. So, you know, I want you to tell me that what you see on the web, what you learn on Facebook or whatever, you know, that would really much impress me too. And then of course, the way you dress, definitely professional attire is required for an interview, no matter where you're interviewing at. You know, it's always better to overdress than to underdress.
I basically agree with her except for one thing, and that's the resume. I think resumes are important because to get into her office or my office, we have to select out of resumes. We don't interview everybody that sends a resume. And we get resumes and we have to make decisions. So how to distinguish yourself from your peers in your resume is a great game. And it's very difficult because everybody is looking for something slightly different. I would not have the same resume for all industries. I would tailor my resumes if you're applying to different industries for jobs for the different industries. If it's finance versus industrial, okay? I would have a finance-based resume that shows my interest wanting to work in the finance industry versus a corporate, so that I can distinguish and show that I really want the corporate job. And because, as I said earlier, we get so many resumes, we may only talk to 5 to 10% of the people we get resumes on. So it's differentiating yourself early on is very key. Once you get into the interview, I think I agree nearly 100% with what Christy said. It's important to leave a great impression that you know what you're talking about, you know why you're in that room talking to them about this firm. You know about the firm. Okay, I agree you don't have to know every minor detail. You have to know the macros. You have to know the business and the company at a 10,000-foot level. It's very important to show that you've taken the time and effort to learn that versus just coming in as another interview off the street.
For entry-level grads, again, you know, my assumption is you really don't have that much experience. Let's leave it into one page, but of course, you know, trying to be as detailed as possible in terms of, you know, highlighting some of the key experience that you need to apply for a particular position that you're targeting.
And on your resume, you're selling yourself. You have one sheet of paper to sell your ideas on why you should be interviewed versus the thousands, and I will tell you literally tens of thousands of interviews, resumes come into us. How do we pick the few that we're going to talk to? What distinguishes you from the Mary and Joes that also send their resumes in? And that's how you're selling yourself. There's the old saying, you only have one chance to make a first impression. Do it well. Learn, do your homework. You're taking a test here next week in class, you're going to do a lot of homework. If you're going to go overseas or do anything, interview for a company, do your homework. There's a lot of resources out there to do that today. The web is a tremendous resource. Leverage off it, talk to people. If you know people that have been there before, work in a business or an industry that you're interested, leverage that, okay? And, I mean, it's not rocket scientist, okay? It's very simple, common sense what to do, but it goes back to what I said. It's not always the smartest people that succeed. It's usually the people that work the hardest. And if you really do your homework and work hard, you're going to succeed.
Of course, you know, Monster.com, Career Builder, LinkedIn, you know, definitely build up your profile on LinkedIn. You know, a lot of employers are looking at the your LinkedIn profiles before, you know, even giving you a call. And also on LinkedIn, there's a section that there's a job search. You know, you could also apply to positions there. And then, you know, that way, you know, they know that you're actually leveraging, you know, these additional sources versus just the traditional job boards.
She's the expert on that. I call that the shotgun approach. I'm better at the rifle approach, okay? Use every source you can to bypass those sources and go direct. You're going to get much better treatment in a large firm going direct through an inside contact than you are going to go through any of those sources, okay? So your great uncle's friend happens to work at a company. Buy your great uncle a bottle of whiskey or whatever he drinks or whatever he likes to get you to talk to his friend, to get your resume sent so that he sends it to the HR department versus you mailing it in among the thousands of others. Those resumes, I think, get looked closer than what any that just arrives in the mail because it comes from somebody inside the firm. Okay, don't be bashful about asking friends of friends of friends to help you find your job. Okay? A lot of people, and I was this way when I was 22 years old, are scared to do that. Okay, I don't want to go ask Uncle Joe or Aunt Mary to help me. Okay, this is your life, okay? This is very, very important to you. Getting the first job is the hardest job to get. Okay, after that, what you've done on that last job is going to speak for itself. Don't be bashful about who you ask, who do you have to go to, and ask them, would you submit my resume at your firm? I really want to work. Don't just say interview, submit it. Know a little bit about why you want that job at that firm to get them interested and a little bit passionate about submitting your resume and telling HR, hey, I met this guy, he seems very bright. I met this young lady, very intelligent, really wants to work for our firm. Look at the resume. That's, to me, what I call the rifle approach. And I think it has a higher hit rate than sending it out thousands and thousands of resumes.